Hey, Andrew here from Learn How to Trade Online. In this video, I'm going to go through and talk to you about some of the things that you need to be a successful trader. We're going to look a little bit at some of the technology that you require, and we're going to move on from there through the additional things that you're going to need. So, first things first, you guessed it, a computer. All right, so whether it's a laptop, a desktop, it could be 5 years old, it could be brand new, it could be a MacBook, it can be any kind of computer you like. Chromebooks, probably not so much. But any kind of laptop in the last several years, any desktop in the last several years with Windows on, or a MacBook, same thing, you'll be absolutely fine. That being said, Windows-based computers do tend to dominate the trading space. Mac is kind of a bit of a pain to install things on, but any computer will work. And obviously you need to trade through a computer. You don't want to be messing around on an iPad or a cell phone. You're never going to make any serious money doing that, and if you even try, you're probably going to lose money. Other thing as well is, on a phone or on a tablet, fat fingers can be expensive. So just bear that in mind, that get yourself a laptop if you haven't already got one. Otherwise, of course, desktops are okay as well. Other thing you really need, if you can, is a hardwired internet connection. The reason why I say if you can get a hardwired internet connection is purely because it's far more stable, it's faster, and it's just more reliable, full stop. So a hardwired internet connection, any kind of broadband you like. We're not talking about 56k dial-up modems here, all right? So any kind of broadband's fine. Ideally, the faster the speed, the better, but don't go and spend stupid amounts of money on the internet. Any kind of broadband will do. And any kind of cable-based internet is the best, plugged directly into your computer, because there's no latency, delay, lag, or signal degradation. Now, if you can't use a hardwired internet connection, obviously you've got Wi-Fi as a choice. I don't like trading off Wi-Fi if I can help it. If I have to, I'll hotspot my cell phone, or I'll use Wi-Fi if I absolutely have to. But right here at home, I run a 1 gigabyte, not terabyte, 1 gigabyte speed internet connection. So that's 1,000 megabyte speed is plenty fast enough for trading. It's in most countries, it's the fastest internet connection money can buy as an individual. But the reason why I prefer to use hardwire over Wi-Fi is because if you're running off of a cable and you've got a 1 gigabyte internet connection, you get the gigabyte, or very, very close to it. Whereas if you run off Wi-Fi, you typically suffer something in the region of a 70% loss in speed, particularly at the higher speeds. So with where I am now, I don't know, 30 yards away from the Wi-Fi router, I can pick up and I can get 250 meg on Wi-Fi, but on the cable I get the full gigabyte. So you get much faster speeds through the cable. If you can use a hardwired internet connection, do so. Wi-Fi is still fine, but just be aware that if you're looking for the best possible case scenario, get a hardwired internet connection. Next thing, external mouse. So don't go cheap on an external mouse. You don't want to be mucking around on a laptop touchpad trying to trade. It's silly to try and do that. Get yourself an external mouse. I've got several of these bad boys. The Logitech Performance MX is the one that I recommend. They're about 50, 60 bucks each on Amazon. They're not crazy money. Walmart sell them. They're sold in the UK for about £50. I'm sure you can get them in Australia, Canada, other places too. The reason why I say get yourself a half decent mouse, first of all, it'll have a rechargeable battery inside. The cool thing with this particular mouse that I use, I've got 3 of them, but if it ever runs out of power on the battery, it'll warn you for a start. It tells you, low battery, critical battery, and you can plug a USB directly into it and still use it as a wired mouse. So that's very, very useful. And I do recommend this particular mouse. I've used it for several years now. I've had several of them too. But they just work really, really well. They're really smooth. It never freezes. And that really counts when you're trading 1 minute charts on 6 screens like I am. So yeah, big recommendation there for the Logitech Performance MX mouse. Any gaming mouse would be good, and obviously wireless is just more convenient, but don't go for the $10 one that you find in the bargain bucket, at Walmart or Asda or wherever you find it. You really want to get yourself a half decent mouse, especially if you're going to be using it every single day. Okay, so again, the Logitech Performance MX is the one that I recommend. You're also going to need to get yourself a charting package. So there's loads of different charting platforms out there. The one that I recommend when you're first starting out as a beginner is called MetaTrader 4. So let me just type it for you so you can see. The one that I recommend is called MetaTrader 4. Now, this isn't as sophisticated as some of the other platforms you can get. Certainly with NinjaTrader, eSignal, and some of the others, there are better platforms out there. But when you're first starting out, you want to have as much money as possible going towards growing your account. So if you're spending loads of money on charting each month, that's obviously a drain. So MetaTrader 4, the big sell of this one really is that it's free. It does a lot of the things that you need it to for manual trading. You can even go automated if you want to. There's a basic level of testing and a basic level of auto trading through MT4, which is sufficient for most retail traders. And I do actually day trade through MT4 for myself, and I swing trade using a different platform. But if you're looking for a platform, you're struggling to know what to go with to begin with, get MT4. It's the world's most widely used trading platform. Millions of traders use it every single day, and it's stable, it's reliable. You may have heard of MetaTrader 5, which is kind of the big brother, the newer version. MetaTrader 5 is nowhere near as popular as MT4. Without going into all the ins and outs, it's also a very good platform. It's also very stable. It's also very good to use if the broker that you're using supports MT5. There's not much of a difference for manual trading like I do. Automated MT5's got a few more cool features, but it's newer, so it will do. Other than that, they're the two main platforms you really want to seriously consider. Don't use any web-based platform. So do not use a web-based platform. They're buggy, they're not that good. Also, if you've got something like Google Chrome open, that hogs a lot of memory on your computer. So web-based platforms are never the best. Also, if you're using web-based platforms through your broker, you're not going to get the best execution. So MT4 is a lot more transparent, whereas a lot of brokers through their own platforms can kind of do what they want to behind the scenes. So you're never going to get the best execution if you're using your own platform. Another good one to consider, which is certainly becoming more popular, is CTrader. I haven't really played around with it too much myself, but again, it's free. Seems to be a pretty reliable platform. Some of the bigger brokers are recommending it. And it definitely seems to have all the functionality that you'd need if you, for some reason, don't want to go the MT4 or MT5 route. CTrader is definitely an option as well. But if you want to go and start looking at some of the paid-for options, there's definitely other paid-for plans. You can get a Bloomberg terminal if you really want to. You could look at eSignal. You could look at NinjaTrader. You could look at Sierra Charts. You could look at TradeStation. There's tons of them. Quite frankly, you don't really need, especially as an amateur to intermediate trader, you don't need any of the stuff they want to sell to you. TradeStation's got a pretty good support community, but their fees are expensive and it's really popular in America, but that's really it. Sierra Charts is just not, it's a bit cumbersome. NinjaTrader's pretty good, but it's not as easy to use as MT4. eSignal's very nice, very clean to use, but it's like $150 a month, which a lot of people don't want to pay. And Bloomberg terminals go to about $2,000 a month. So if you're looking to spend some money, go get a Bloomberg terminal. But otherwise, I would suggest MT4 or MT5 when you're first starting out. Now, you heard me mention Forex brokers. You also obviously need to have a brokerage account to trade through. Now, there's a whole heap of brokerage accounts, there's a whole list of different brokers all around the world that you can choose to use. I recommend several to my members, and the reason I recommend some of the choices that I've gone with is because I trust them because they have my money. or at some point they've had my money. So I've been very happy with the service that I've received. I've been happy with the execution. I've been happy with the way they dealt with me at a professional level. So my members, I recommend you through to several different choices depending on where you live in the world. And they're really reliable, sophisticated, secure, just all-round good brokers. And if you're looking at transaction charges as well, some of the brokers really do pitch themselves very, very well, but actually they're quite expensive. So do a bit of a comparison for yourself. Make sure the transaction charges are good. And one of the things that I kind of will give you as a bit of a freebie here is you always want to trade this method, which is a raw spread plus commission. You never ever want to trade spread only. The reason why I say that, particularly as a day trader, is spread only. The spreads are wider, so it's easier to hit stop loss with a spread only. It's harder to hit target with spread only. Whereas raw spread plus commission, you usually pay less, and you're getting a much tighter spread, so it's harder to hit your stop loss. It's easier to hit target, then you pay a small commission afterwards. It's kind of how the professionals trade. No professional would ever take spread only option. That's for pure amateurs. But you do want raw spread plus commission because it's much cheaper to trade. And the cool thing is that as you gain in size, basically your account grows, the commissions become negotiable. So some of the platforms that I trade through, they say they charge $7 or $7.50 per lot, even $10 per lot. Well, I pay $1.8 per lot. So I pay significantly less because of the size that I put through with some of those brokers. And it's a bit unfortunate, but money talks at the end of the day. So as your account grows, you do have more bargaining and negotiating power with these brokers, because if you've been with them for a number of years, they don't want to lose your business. Okay, so that's another thing you really do need. It's a bit of a summary. Obviously a computer. You also need a decent mouse, decent internet connection. You don't want to be messing around on an iPad on Wi-Fi. All right, that's a very bad way to do things. Second screens can be useful. Don't feel you have to run out now to Best Buy or PC World or whatever your computer store is and go and buy a whole 6-screen trading computer like I've got. It comes in time. I can quite happily trade off of one screen. Just when you make the money that I make, paying $150 a screen, it's a small amount to pay to make things a little bit easier. But when you're first starting out, you're far better off just sticking to your laptop. It's ultra portable, or your desktop if you've got one screen there. Then add a second screen in. All computers can add a second screen very, very easily. And if you want to go beyond that, then there's obviously custom setups that you can look at. But it's very easy to connect 2 computer screens to one laptop. I go through that in some of my other videos, but point is that a laptop's fine. A second screen's great, but it obviously isn't great to travel with. And at home, you can connect 3 screens to a computer very, very easily. And a quick Google search will tell you how. You need to make sure you've got a decent charting package where you can execute quickly. And you also need to make sure that the broker that you're using has good transaction charges, good customer service, and that you can get a hold of them when you want to, and that you can transfer money easily. You don't want to be waiting 2 weeks for a bank transfer. Okay, so that's kind of a bit of a run through. Now, the obvious thing that you also need as well is a fantastic education. All right, because the last thing that you want is to have all the gear but no idea. You've seen that kind of person at the golf club. They've got $2,000 worth of golf irons. They've got a $500 driver, the best golf balls that money can buy. Yet on the first tee, they stick it straight in the lake. All right, so it doesn't matter how good your computer is. Doesn't matter how good your mouse is. Doesn't matter how good your internet connection is. If you can have all the gear, but if you've not got a clue what you're doing, then you're gonna get smashed. All right, and I say you've seen the kind of people on the golf club. All the gear and no idea with golf is a surefire way to a high score. All the gear and no idea with trading is a great way to lose money. All right. Now, let me put it this way. I am 100% positive that Tiger Woods could beat me at a round of golf with nothing more than a sand wedge. All right, because he knows exactly what he's doing, and I'm nowhere near his skill level. All right, so from that perspective, he has one bit of kit, but he can absolutely destroy me playing a game of golf. All right, exactly the same thing is true with trading. All right, I could outtrade the vast majority of people on a 5-year-old laptop with a 12-inch screen and no external mouse. All right, it's about what's up here and about knowing what to do rather than having all the gear. All right, now I've got a lot of the gear, which is cool, but that comes later. Don't think you have to go out now and buy a 6-screen trading computer or a 12-screen trading behemoth, with multiple keyboards, multiple mice. That's ridiculous. All right, but what you do need is you need to know what to do, when to do it. You need to know when to enter the market, why you're entering the market. You need to know how to capture profits from the market. You need to know when you're going to get out for the profit. You need to know how to manage your trades. You need to have a proven system, a trading plan. All right? You don't want to be the person that's got all that kit but no idea what to do with it. All right? Now, it's your choice. You can carry on hacking your way around as you are right now, trying to make do with a little bit of this and a little bit of that knowledge from free websites, or you can just go all in, commit to it and go, okay, I need a little bit of help here, and you can click the button underneath this video and you can join my Ultimate Trader program. I've been talking to you about it now for 6 videos. All right, so if you haven't already, click the orange red button underneath this video. This is the last video in the training series. The point is, when you go through and look at the Ultimate Trader program, it is going to give you absolutely everything you need to become a consistently profitable trader. Now, I'm a one-man band. I've not got some huge client services team based all around the world. I've not got 10 different traders working for me. I've not got offices in 7 different countries. All right, that means that when you email, I reply. That means that when you ask a question, it's me that's answering it, not someone from customer service that makes $1,500 a month. All right. When you are stuck with something, I know how to fix it. All right. And the other cool thing about being a one-man band compared to a big corporation is that I personally live off my trading. So I can make my training programs ridiculously cheap for the value that they offer. Whereas loads of other trading educators out there want to charge you 3, 5, 10, 20, 50 grand to learn to trade, which is astronomical prices and ridiculous, quite frankly. All right, so if you haven't seen it already yet, click the red button underneath this video right now. Go check out my Ultimate Trader program. You'll see exactly what's involved. You get the trade alerts, the courses, the coaching, the mentoring, everything. All right, but enough from me talking to you. Go check it out right now. You'll see for yourself how good it is. And I fully expect my trade alerts to pay for the cost of your membership. That's the whole way that this has been built, so that I only make you money, I don't cost you money. Okay, that's enough from me now. Hopefully you've taken an awful lot of value from these videos over the last 4, 5, 6. And I've gone through, I've shown you a trading system that you can use. I've explained the charts you want to be using. I've talked to you about identifying trends. I've also shown you the equipment that you need. So I've given you a whole heap of stuff that you can really use right away. And your next step, quite simply, is to click the button underneath, join the Ultimate Trader program, and I will see you in the members area.